Welcome back to my garden side quest. Today we are starting direct sowing outside. So before I could go outside and plant anything, I have to do a lot of preparation in the house. This year, for the first time ever, I'm planting asparagus. I ordered 2 varieties of asparagus from Keen Garlic. I love Keen Garlic. I buy garlic from them for fall planting almost every year, and now I'm trying out their asparagus. Their asparagus comes with a nice little pamphlet that you could take out to the garden with you to kind of guide you through how to plant. The 2 varieties that I am trying are Millennium and Mary Washington. They came in these nice little brown bags, which I stored in the refrigerator until I was ready to plant. So both of these are 2-year asparagus crowns. From my understanding, I should be able to harvest a little bit this spring, but then in the future, there'll be more asparagus, I guess. So in order to prep for planting these, I ordered 10 of each, so a total of 20 crowns. You have to soak them in water for a few hours before planting them out in the garden. So that's what I have going on right here. I have a piece of parchment paper halfway between the crowns, so I know which one is which. So the bottom layer is Mary Washington, and I ordered 10 and they sent me 12. So yay, lucky me, 2 bonus. And then the top layer is the Millennium. I ordered 10 and I got exactly 10. So these will be planted in garden bed A in my garden. I think that's really all I have to say about them. Do you want to see what they look like? They're kind of gross. Ew. Okay. So this is the crown at the top. And then these are all the roots. So my understanding is when you lay these down in your trench that I have to dig, you're going to lay it with the crown kind of flat, and then all of these little roots spread out kind of like a spider. Gross. But I'm going to do these first this morning, so I wanted to get them soaking. So those are my asparagus. Just like everything in the garden, I have to have labels. So these are my 2 labels for the asparagus. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to be direct sowing, well, actually, every one of my beds will have some level of direct sowing today. And in order to help organize that, I have developed a little bit of a system so that I don't go crazy out in the garden because I have so many different varieties. Maybe one day I'll just stick to like 1 variety of green beans. But for right now, I have purchased over the years so many varieties that I like to try different varieties in different beds of the garden. So what I did this year, new, is each solo cup I labeled with a garden bed. So this is garden bed H. And then this little organizer, this is a photo case that came with my big seed organizer, but I labeled it for garden bed. So this is bed H, and in here I put the seeds that I'm going to direct sow today in garden bed H. So I'm going to start a row of carrots. For all of these beds, it's pretty much the same. I'm going to have a row of carrots. I'm going to have a row of peas. I'm going to have a row of green beans. I'm going to have 2 rows of some kind of lettuce, and then some of them will have a row of radishes as well. But for my peas and green beans, you have to soak them for 8 to 12 hours before planting. So it's early in the morning and it is 32 degrees outside today, but it's supposed to get up to 70. So by time the temperature rises to 70, these will have soaked enough. I will inoculate them, which I will show you how to do, and then plant them out in the garden. Some people might be saying, oh, stop. Just stop, because you cannot plant peas and green beans at the same time. Peas are spring, green beans are summer. I know that is true, but last year I screwed up and I planted them at the same time in the spring, not really thinking about it. And it turned out just fine. My peas sprouted early in the spring and I had peas, and I was like, why aren't my green beans sprouting? What is the problem? Why aren't they sprouting? And of course, doing a quick Google search, I was like, shit, I planted these way too early. They're probably not going to germinate, but they did germinate. So they just sat in the soil all spring, and then when they were ready, they germinated, and we got so many green beans. So for each one of my beds, what I do is I plant peas along the trellis, and then I plant green beans along the inner section. And I'll show you that once we're outside. But to get started, I have to I'm going to go ahead and dump in the peas and the green beans into this red Solo cup, and then add just enough water to cover the tops of them so they could start soaking. So this is for bed H. So bed H, we're going to do sugar snap peas from Burpee. And we are going to do Blue Lake, Bush Blue Lake 274 from Burpee. And there's a lot of seeds in here, so I'm just going to kind of grab a handful because I just plant them all along the whole edge of my bed. And my beds are 9.5 feet long, so it could hold a lot of seed. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and cover them. So you want to do it a little higher than the seeds themselves, using warm water, because as the seeds soak, they're going to start kind of filling up with water and get fat. So if you don't put enough water in there, they'll rise above the water level and then stop absorbing it. So then again, just to help me stay organized, I'm going to take the two labels, my bush beans and my peas, and just stick it in here because it's not going to hurt anything. I'm going to put my package back in the organizer so I remember the variety, and set it off to the side. Now I'm going to do the exact same process for all my other beds. This is G. In G, I'm going to plant more of the Bush Blue Lake 274. Ooh. And for this one, we are going to do snowbird peas. And it says these are heirloom. Add a little bit of warm water. Okay, next we have bed F. In bed F, we are going to do tender green. And golden sweet pea by M.I. Gardner. Bed E, we are going to keep with the tender green. And we are going to do Sugar Ann snap peas from MI Gardener. Next is bed D. In bed D, we are going to do Oregon Giant Snow Pea from MI Gardener. Gotta find my label. There we go. And we are going to do Burpee's Stringless Green Pod. Okay, in bed C, we are doing the Oregon Sugar Pod 2 by Burpees. And we are doing more of the stringless green. Bed B, uh-oh, does bed B get, oh, bed B is sharing a bag of peas with bed A. That's why I couldn't find it. But where is my label? Ah, here it is. So we are using Cascadia peas by Burpees. And this is a big bag, so I'm sharing it between bed A and bed B. Bed B gets some. And then bed B is also going to get some big kahuna. Okay, and bed A, lonely old bed A, is only going to get peas because bed A is going to have the asparagus crowns in them. And then I'm also transplanting strawberries from behind the garage in a short garden bed into bed A. From what I've read online, asparagus and strawberries grow together fantastically. So that bed is just going to be for my perennials, so the strawberries and the asparagus, and then I'm going to grow peas along the trellis in the spring, and maybe, I don't know if I'm going to do cucumbers or tomatillos along the trellis in the summer. I'm going to have to do a little more research to find out what would go best, if anything, with the asparagus. All right, so those are all my solo cups with water, hot water, and my beans and peas soaking. So join me back in 8 to 12 hours and we will inoculate these and get them out to the garden. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me on my Garden Side Quest.